और जो
इसमें अगर
सरकार ने
कोई
किया है उससे हम सहमत है कि नहीं, ये बात मैं कांग्रेस के स्पोक्सपर्सन से पूछना चाहूंगी. महिमा, आर यू कन्विंस्ड विद द मनी व्हिच हैज बीन गिवन आउट टू द फैमिलीज ऑफ द वंस हु आर अरेस्टेड बाय द रूलिंग भारतीय जनता पार्टी गवर्नमेंट आफ्टर मेकिंग these arrests, because they say we are making the efforts to rehabilitate these families? If you can give your input on that.
Good evening, Chaiti, and good evening all. The question of money is not even secondary but tertiary here right now, because what we are talking about is an absolute state of lawlessness created by the state, which it is now trying to remedify its own its own actions. Assam, Chaiti, you would know, is becoming the encounter capital of the country. In fact, it is known world over now for that. And not only that, fifth year straight in a row, the crime against women are at a peak, in the state of Assam. Now, in amidst of all of this, the actions taken by the Assam government today lack ingenuity. And ingenuity is a characteristic trait of the BJP, wherever it rules. You see what they have done. Today, 2,000 arrests have been made. My question to this government is, the Congress's question, and to the question of any sensible person today is, why were these marriages happening in the first place? How was this lawlessness being allowed to prevail? Because the state is not monitoring the state of law.
No, but Mahima, some of them have happened under the Congress regime also. It's not just the BJP here to blame.
See, I have pointed out to the ingenuity, Chaiti, and I have pointed out to, see, the child marriages may have been happening. It is happening everywhere across the country because there's a customary law in place in this country. The question is that, why do you take such abrupt actions? This is an abrupt action which they are taking to remedify their own state of lawlessness, as I pointed out. And I'm reminded of Meghalaya, Chaiti, where, Bernard Marak, the vice president of the BJP, his farmhouse, 6 children were rescued, and a huge racket there
I'll come back to that as well, but Saeed Abbas wants to come in on this particular point. Saeed, I again want to come back to the same point that, this is an abrupt action and not much has been thought through that after this particular crackdown, how are we going to rehabilitate these families, and hence this becomes more of a humanitarian story.
Certainly, absolutely. I couldn't agree more on this front, because let me share this incident which took place in Assam as we speak. The fact of the matter, there was a lady's husband who was arrested. You may ask why, and I'll tell you why. Mr. Pramod Swami should listen to this. His son married a 17-year-old girl, which is absolutely wrong. He must be booked for it. Today, she is 19 years old, 5 months pregnant. The question her mother-in-law, the father-in-law raises is, why is this man arrested? You arrest the man who is responsible, but not the man of the family who is running the show. You want to arrest the husband, go ahead, arrest him, book him. But why arrest a man who happens to be his father? Also, we need to understand now who is going to provide for the child. What about the medical supplies? What are you going to do about it? The fact of the matter, you want to go ahead and book them, arrest them, all right. But there needs to be the right amount of provision which needs to be made. But doing this on a mass basis, 2,000, you're affecting 2,000 families, you're affecting 2,000 breadwinners. Do you want them to die out of hunger? Absolutely no. Also, the fact of the matter, we need to raise the question to the Congress party also is, 10 years you are into power. You could have prevented this, ma'am. You could have absolutely prevented this.
Yeah.
These marriages wouldn't have taken place if you had to enforce this law.
Correct.
The fact the BJP and the Congress needs to understand, keep your politics at bay. Today, a low strata of society where most number of child marriages take place is affected. Effective out of hunger, effective out of poverty.
Yeah.
They are being pushed into poverty because of the BJP Congress politics. The fact this should have been stopped in the first place.
That is a fair point. It had to be stopped in the first place, and that's a question I'm going to come back to Mahima with as well. But Pramod Swami, why don't you respond to the abrupt nature in which Mahima, I'm coming to you. Mahima, I'm coming to you. He asked a question to Pramod. So Pramod ji, आप बताइए कि जो abrupt nature जिस तरीके से आप लोगों ने किया है, उस पे सवाल उठ रहे हैं. मैं एक बार भी नहीं कह रही हूँ कि जो असदुद्दीन ओवैसी AIMIM के कह रहे कि ये तो माइनॉरिटी पर अटैक है, क्योंकि आप लोग अक्रॉस द बोर्ड, चाहे वो पुरोहित हो या काजी हो, आप लोग सब पर क्रैकडाउन कर रहे हो. बट सवाल ये उठता है कि क्रैकडाउन करने का भी तरीका होता है. यू कांट लीव पीपल इन द लर्च.
देखिए, मैं ओवैसी साहब के ऊपर तो मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि उनकी बातों का मैं कोई उत्तर देना की आवश्यकता
नहीं, मैं तो बोल ही दिया है आपको कि वो उसका उत्तर चाहिए भी नहीं हमें, हमें तो दूसरे सवाल का जवाब चाहिए।
मैं दे रहा हूँ, मैं उत्तर दे रहा हूँ। अब जो व्यक्ति स्वयं नोटबंदी के समय एटीएम में हिंदू और मुस्लिम ढूंढ रहा था, और जिसके भाई ने कहा कि 10 करोड़ जो है 100 करोड़ पे भारी पड़ेंगे, उनकी बातों को कोई भी बेसी तवज्जो नहीं देता है। अब मूल प्रश्न आपका ये आता है कि यहाँ जो जेंटलमैन जो बैठे हुए हैं, क्या वो चाइल्ड मैरिज का समर्थन करते हैं? एक नंबर बात,
वो उन्होंने बोल दिया है नहीं करते हैं। सईद ने आपको सबसे पहले बोल दिया है नहीं करते हैं।
मेरे को कंप्लीट करने दीजिए मैडम। तो अगर नहीं करते हैं तो क्या उसके अगेंस्ट में देश में एक कानून जो है, क्या उस कानून का पालन नहीं किया जाना चाहिए? अगर देश में स्थिर है तो अगर कोई मर्डर कर देगा, चोरी करेगा, तो आप तो बोल देंगे उनके भी ह्यूमन राइट्स है, उनके बच्चों का क्या होगा? तो फिर जो लॉ ऑफ द लैंड है उसको आप कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे? कैसे लॉ ऑफ द लैंड को आप इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे? कहीं ना कहीं जाके तो आपको शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी ना।
रिस्पॉन्ड टू द बीजेपी स्पोक्सपर्सन।
प्रमोद साहब, आपका सवाल बिल्कुल लाजिम है, वाजिब है, हालांकि मैं सवाल का सीधा जवाब दूंगा। असदुद्दीन ओवैसी की जो बात है वो अपनी रोटी सेक रहे हैं, ये इसको हिंदू मुस्लिम मुद्दा बनाना चाहते हैं, विच आई एज एन इंडियन मुस्लिम डू नॉट अग्री. I do not see this as an Hindu-Muslim problem, but this is a deep-rooted problem which is taking place across India. The fact of the matter, sir, during the opening of the show, I made myself clear, categorically I stated that I am strictly against the Child Marriages Act. But respected sir, if you learn about Child Marriages Act, it has been into effect since 1929. There have been several amendments made. Also, as a matter of fact, 2006 was the last amendment. Your government has been 2 years in power, almost 2 years in power. Sir, why did you allow those marriages to take place in the last 2 years? Most of the marriages have been taking place, but you did nothing about it. But now you want to do a brutal enforcement of it? Arrest 2,000 people? Prevention is better than cure, sir. Have you done your duty 2 years back? You won't have been able to hit the stomach of the low strata of the society. गरीबों को बचाओ सर, गरीबी हटाओ, गरीबों को मत हटाओ. The fact this is a direct strict, you do follow the law, you put cases on them, but arresting them in a 2,000 number, what are you going to do at the families? Sir, even the constitution says you cannot brutally emphasize on the constitution, but also have the underlining of the human rights violation, sir.